Hi, this is Will, your online brain training and self-image expert. Today is day 4 in our 21-day series called Eat That Elephant in the Room, and it's our special edition for Father's Day. And hopefully you'll be so inspired during these 21 days that you're going to want to make a donation to the Sketch fundraiser that this video series was started to help promote, and also to help me eat that elephant in the room, because I was avoiding doing the fundraising, and now I'm back on track with asking people to make donations, sharing this video series. So taking that action, jumping in there and getting it done, it really helps make that difference, and I feel so much better. I'm sleeping so much better because I'm now addressing that thing that I wasn't before. So if you're still in that phase of not quite dealing with that elephant, just start taking some action. Start applying the things that I'm telling you in these videos and help allow it to make a difference for you. So today is Father's Day, and I want to do this video in memory of my father who passed away in February. And I got to be at his, we had a little memorial service in Nova Scotia. And I got to learn a lot of things about my dad that I didn't know. And it also helped me to see all these things that I had seen about him in a negative way, that I had learned these negative traits. I actually got to see the positives and the blessings that they were and are. So at the end of this video, I'm going to share the neuro tip with you that'll make this all make sense. But first I want to share the top things that I learned from my father. So the number one thing that I learned from my father is being stubborn can be an asset. So being stubborn is a double-edged sword. We often talk about stubbornness as a bad thing, but you can be stubborn and have it be a really good thing. I mean, he stubbornly kicked the habit of drinking on his own. And when he died, I got to go and be in his house, and I saw and now have on my desk the coins that he got from Alcoholics Anonymous. And he's passed away now, so I know it's okay to share this. And he did that on his own. His stubbornness, his strength, his willpower saw him through that, when I know a lot of people don't make it through that. So that's the benefit that stubborn can be. And obviously the downside is, for me, I've seen in my business sometimes I stubbornly do things my own way, when really I should listen to a mentor, when really I should listen to someone who has more knowledge in that area. So it can be a double-edged sword. The second big thing that I learned from my father is how to do more with less. My dad was one of the best men I've ever met at, you want to transport a boat to the other side of the province, but you've only got a regular tiny small car. So instead of renting a truck or renting a van or asking someone else, which are all good options, instead you could find a way to hook it onto the top of the car, latch it down so well, and then just drive a little slowly and take different roads, and you'll get there. Again, a little bit of the stubbornness, but on the positive, sometimes you got to just find a way. Sometimes you just have to find a way to get it done. So with that elephant in the room for you, sometimes you just got to find a way. It's not about asking for help. It's not about making a better plan. It's not about having better action. Sometimes you just got to grit it out and get it done the old-fashioned way. I remember once he fixed a house after Hurricane Juan, and he was a carpenter, so he was fixing this house for a close family friend. And he literally had to just jack up all 4 corners of this house and fix it piece by piece on those 4 corners. There was no way to get in a full rig to lift up the whole house. He had to do it piece by piece. So sometimes you just got to find a way. And the third biggest thing that I learned from my father was the love of travel and the love of cultures and a curiosity for cultures. We grew up in small town Nova Scotia where there wasn't a lot of other cultures to have an influence on us. So he really instilled in me at a young age the importance of travel with his stories of travel. So I've got to travel the world now, and now I've traveled the world with my wife as well. And I really thank him for that. So those are the top 3 things. I mean, there's a million things that I've learned from my father, but those are the top 3 things. And now the neuro tip for you, the brain tip, the brain training tip, and how to make Father's Day one of your favorite days. Because although for me it's very sad that my dad has passed away, there's a lot of blessings to it. So one of the blessings is that, and I mentioned it earlier, that I get to take all of the memories and the experiences of my father, and I get to reinterpret those in the way that I choose. I get to take the positives and not the negatives. I realized after he passed away that I spent most of my life just only remembering the negatives, that I'm, quick to temper, that I don't have a lot of patience sometimes, that I get really annoyed in tight spaces and enclosed spaces with other people, all these things. And I said, oh, it's my dad's fault, or my relationship with money is my dad's fault. And I didn't realize that I was actually blaming him instead of taking responsibility for myself. So the tip for you today in eating that elephant is you get to interpret the influences in your life, not only your father and your parents, but all the influences. So if you're saying that you can't deal with that elephant in the room because of whatever happened in the past or whatever is currently happening, just cut it out. You get to choose. I choose to take the stubbornness in the most positive way possible. I choose to take all my father's influences in a way that empowers me and moves me forward. So I now know that I can be more stubborn than anybody in pursuit of my dreams that make a difference in the world, not just on nitpicky life things that don't matter. So I hope this has been helpful for you. Tune in tomorrow for day 5, and happy Father's Day.